So I guess this is so much a part of your performance, your persona. Um, Not only sonically, but obviously, physically, appearance-wise. Maybe there's some folks in here who don't fully understand. Can you explain a little bit about the different personas? There's MF Doom. There's also Victor Vaughn. There is also King Ghidra. Can you break that down a little bit for folks?
Yeah, well, the idea of having different characters to, you know, different characters really just to get the storyline across. Coming from one particular character all the time makes to me the story boring. I get that mainly from like novels and that style of writing, you know what I mean, or movies, you know what I'm saying, where there's multiple characters to carry the storyline. It all might be written by one writer, you know what I mean, or directed by one director, but there's multiple characters in order to, you need it, you know what I'm saying? So the more the better with me. This way I could come from one point of view, another point of view. They might even disagree on certain things. I think a lot of times in hip hop especially, artists get kind of pigeonholed into being like if you're the guy and that's it's kind of limiting in a way. So I look at it like I'm a writer, like the same way with the skits. You know, like have the record tell a story. You know what I'm saying? Like have little intervals where it's like cut scenes. You know what I'm saying? To where yeah, to me, everything just flows better when I got multiple characters to portray
Right.
the story.
How would you define, how would you define Doom's character then? What is Doom's sort of, what's his perspective? What are his characteristics?
Yeah, the character Doom in particular, he's more like the old school, you know, OG old timer villain. Like he's the typical villain that you have in any story where a lot of people misunderstand him. But he's always looked at as the bad guy, but he really got a heart of gold. You know what I'm saying? And he's for the children, and it's like a Robin Hood kind of character. You
So
know what I'm
he's a
saying?
sympathetic villain.
Yeah, yeah, loved by the people, but then the powers that be may not really get along with how he get down. You know what I'm saying?
And what about Victor Vaughn, another character?
Yeah, Vic is similar, but he's younger. He's more like a younger, like say 18, 19-year-old young whippersnapper, think he know it all kind of, you know. A lot of times he disagree with Doom, but still he looks up to Doom. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And what about King Ghidra?
Ghidra's is an interesting character. You know what I mean? The whole direction of Ghidra is like, okay, he's not even from the earth, you know what I'm saying? He's from outer space, and he channels the information to Doom in order for Doom to produce and whatnot. So Doom is he gets the message from Ghidra. So Ghidra is not even on Earth. He's more of a like an etheric being, you know what I'm saying?
Now, what physical form would Ghidra take then? Is he human, or is he human-like, or is he something else?
Ghidra's straight reptilian. Like he would be like a 300-foot, you know, three-headed dragon, golden. Like it's actually from the whole Toho Godzilla films. So he's again, it's just a villain theme. You know what I mean? The bad guy. Ghidra's that classic bad guy, and even in those films, like strong, real strong, where they had to jump him at the end in order to get him. They always end up somehow chasing him away, though, right? Because the whole hero thing, the hero got to win. But if you really look at it, Ghidra is really stronger than all of them. You know what I'm saying? But he's still that oddball. You know what I'm saying?
So why is Doom then more of your dominant persona, or maybe not dominant, but the one that is more on the forefront? Is it because you've said that Doom, in some respects, is doing Ghidra's work, right? He's more like a emissary or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So why Doom? Why is Doom in the forefront as opposed to these other characters?
Well, I think it's just for right now, and what I had a chance to let the public hear, and it just happened to end up that right now in in this time frame, Doom happened to be the one that's in the forefront. But I mean, in the next 12 months, Ghidra might take the stage again, and you know, and you know, Doom might fall back for another 2 years or so. You know what I mean? So it varies. It's an ongoing story. You know what I mean?
You know, I guess obviously the mask is a huge part of Doom. Can you just, for those who are new to this, can you explain a little bit of why Doom wears the mask, why he's only seen with the mask?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, the whole mask thing really. All right, it's a time in hip hop where things, from my point of view, started going more to what things look like opposed to what things sound like. You know what I mean? Before, we ain't know what MCs look like until we went to the party and seen them rocking, you know what I'm saying? Or seen them, most of the time you see them rocking at a show before you even knew, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, before video, pre-video, so, you really was going off the sound of the record, straight skills. See, once it started getting more publicized and it started being hip hop started being more of a money making thing, then you get these corporate ideas where you want to put what it looks like to sell what it sounds like. But we dealing with music, so what I did was I said, all right, look, I'm gonna come with the angle of it don't matter what I look like, it don't matter what the artist look like. It's more what the artist sound like. So the mask really represents the whole like to rebel against the trying to sell the product as a human being. You know what I mean? It's more of a sound. So and at the same time, it's something different. You know what I'm saying? And it fits with the theme of the rebel, the villain, where to him he don't care about the fame and all that shit. That shit is of no consequence. You know what I mean? It's more of the message of what's being said. So I think it helps people focus more on what's being said. And it's still entertaining. It's still like the theater, and it has the appeal of something that could be considered entertaining, but that message is still there. That villain represents anybody. Anybody in here could wear the mask and be the villain, male, female, any race, so-called race. You know what I mean? It's about where you coming from your heart. You know what I'm saying? Like what is the message? What you got to say? You know what I mean? So that's mainly why I chose to bring the mask into the fold.
This record, like I said, didn't come out when it was supposed to come out in 93, 94. There was a controversy that those who follow hip hop probably are familiar with that caused this album not to come out. What do you want to say in retrospect of all that, if anything?
Well, I don't know. The controversy, there was a couple of different things that was going on, and some of the things was behind the scenes, some of the things was more upfront, but it all kind of culminated into the agreement that we had with the label to be severed. It was kind of mutually agreed. You know what I mean? That we just, it was kind of conflict of interest and like creative differences kind of thing. You know, so then that's really what led to the record being shelved, as they say, or what have you. But to me, it's no big deal. It's like a process that it happens in the game where relationships come to a point where you split and then you do something else. Everybody grows and so it's that kind of thing. We just got too. To me, we just got too big and too outspoken for the situation.
Yeah, because the original artwork to this, and it's been reissued since with the original artwork, but it's the character, the symbol KMD, which is the quote unquote Sambo
Yeah,
character.
the Sambo face, drawn like, drawn out, but then with the no sign, like the no smoking or no,
Right,
you know,
with the
wh-
slash. Yeah.
yeah, which will represent the ending of any stereotype or any kind of, any type of false representation of anything really, of any race or any people or anything that's falsely represented. End of that. That was the logo, and then we took it a step further with the Black Bastard cover, and made it to it. Okay, now we got this character on a hangman's noose, so we're hanging the character, which represents the same thing. It's the ending or the deading of that stereotype. You know what I mean? At the same time, it represents like the hangman game, like where letters are missing out of the. So it's like a puzzle, you know what I mean? So the whole record's like a puzzle, but at the same time, still with the message of no more stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it was a little bit maybe too. I don't even know. I can't even look at it from their point of view to think what the reason was why they couldn't
Well, it
handle
seems
something
like it was
that.
misinterpreted, or whoever decided they were offended by it, or that it was too controversial, misinterpreted the meaning of all that.
Yeah, but then you know what? At the same time, we had records out on the same label, like Cop Killer, Ice T shit, and like there was a lot of controversial records at that time. I think it was more like, okay, is this product marketable? Can we sell this? You know what I mean? Because if they found a way to sell it, it wouldn't have been a problem. There was even some rock groups on there. I forget the name of the rock group. They had something the same year. They had a cover with like a cross with like a Jesus Christ with a goat head, and was real bugged out that maybe might some people might see as offensive, or it had blood, all kind of looking crazy. But they selling millions of records at the time, so it wasn't as offensive as So like I say, it's a lot of behind the scenes things that go on with this thing. They didn't have a front story that as the main story, as in everything they do. And even nowadays, there's always a front story, but there's also a backstory, the real story. You know what I mean? Happens a lot in politics. It happens a lot in, you know, in how this world is run in general. These, when anytime there's money involved and a lot of, it tends to be that way. You know what I'm saying?
Goddamn it. Super motherfucking villain, goddamn it. About to get this million stacked of shit. Yo, this dip try to tell us. Ooh, you're like the sun. Chasing all of the rain away. When you come around, you bring brighter days. She told me you're the perfect one. Microphone check 1 2 1 2 1 2. He told her I will rock this microphone. Always. I hold the mic like niggas hold their girls tight, but I ain't after her. Probably your Acura pearl white, the hook or knob. And many times I done hit it. Just be specific, more times than dimes in a Brisnik. When you broke north, I crashed the barbecue like Riddick at the Garden True. That's the garden me, pardon you. Cheapers, I was told back. The whole gang access to my beeper. Call back my secretary gatekeeper. Like I ain't peeper. I said, darling, you was stupid though. You know the super villain. Home. I had this style ever since I was a child. I got this other style, I ain't flipping a wow. It goes pure scientific intelligence with 1 point of relevance. MCs whose styles need elements. And once the smoke clears elements, the super motherfucking villain nigga came through raw like the elements. On 99 plus one of them. And with a flow to pull a fraud nigga foul from out in front of him. When we with y'all, we had tons of fun. Me and my duns and them. Actual true and living sons of them. Dead planets and guard jewels. Throwing divine rules too. Come through, we will overcharge you. Ooh, and won't feel remorse for shit. Except for one time, once I had took my fronts out and lost some shit. Scientific on berserk like red alert. I really want to pick up was nerd for cheddar dirt. The funniest experiments is where I went, obviously dead bent. And spent every red cent to rule you. And still drop more jewels than schools do. Or even TV news that's designed to fool you. Yeah, you who hear the most grimy suggestions from brothers with fly names and ID questions. That's a secret like Victoria Teddy says that's edible. Duns not ready yet for the incredible team of MCs who broke off fakes who thought they were slaughterproof. Stomping through like North Lake waterproof. Tat tat at the end of that. After hit the bar with baby girl bartender at. I told her more wine mingling with no single mentions of. Stay tuned for more spine tingling adventures of.
If you are the supervillain, who's your nemesis? Who's the superhero?
The superhero? There's various different superheroes out there, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't necessarily call them my nemesis. They're just the antithesis of Doom, you know what I mean? So, I could, maybe I get along with him. It's not necessarily like he's my enemy. He's just him, the hero. And the hero could vary. It's whoever is playing that role, you know what I'm saying? The cool guy, the one with the chain, the one with the fancy car. I guess he would be the hero, you know what I'm saying? When we the villain, you know what I mean?
it's probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people, you can call me your majesty. Keep your battery charged, you know it won't stick, yo. And it's not his fault you kick slow. Should've let your chick hold your sick glow. Plus nobody couldn't do nothing once he let the brick go. And you know I know that's a bunch of snow. The beat is so butter. Peep the slow cutter as he utter the calm flow. Don't talk about my moms, yo. Sometimes he rhyme quick, sometimes he rhyme slow, or vice versa. Whip up a slice of nice verse pie, hit it on the first try. Villain, the worst guy. Spot hot tracks like spot a pair of fat asses. Shots of the scotch from out the square shot glasses. And he won't stop till he got the masses and show them what they know not through flows of hot molasses. Do it like the robot to headspin to boogaloo. Took a few minutes to convince the average boogaboo. It's ugly, like look at you, it's a damn shame. Just remember all caps when you spell the man name. And you know it like a poet, like Baby Doll. I bet she tried to say she gave me her all. She played ball. All bets off, the villain got the dice rigged. And they say he accosted the man with the sliced wig. Allegedly, the investigation is still ongoing. In this pesky nation, he got the best con flowing. The pot doubles, now they really got troubles. Madman never go like snot bubbles. Like until then, I ain't really have a partner. Now I feel like I found my partner, you know what I mean?
Mad at the pen, like that we win a tag in a bad hat for them. Blind to cinnamon, mad hat warmongers. You can find the villain in sat playing corners, the man's weakness.
To me, from the musical aspect, hip hop is one of the direction to where it's like 100 or almost damn near 100% on everything besides the music, like what you look like, the sound of your name, to what you're wearing, the brand of clothing, whatever intoxicants you choose to put in your body, to, you know, things, everything except for what the music sounds like. So the Mask is really a testament to, yo, it's not about none of that. It's straight about the wreck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be any color or whatever, you know what I'm saying? The Mask represents just everybody, you know what I'm saying? To where, yo, nothing matters, the brand of clothing, none of that matters. It's just matter how you spit and the beats, how the beats is raw, then that's what it's about.
Light that weed up if y'all got some weed up in here. Anyway, I'm straight high off them trees. That girl don't wanna lie, she wanna get on her.
Well, I'm smoking. I can't write at all. You know what I mean? I'm smoking. I got a blunt in my hand. How am I gonna, you know what I mean? I only got two hands.
With the best host, doing long hits on the room like the West Coast.
Wade.
Wreak havoc, beatless, mad traffic, sleek and lavish, people speak and leak it to the maverick. He see it as just another felony drug arrest. Any day could be the one he picked the wrong thug to test, slug through the vest. Shot in the street for pulling heat on a father who babies gotta eat. And when they get hungry, it ain't shit funny. Paid to interfere with how brother get his money now. Who's the real thugs, killers, and gangsters? Set the revolution, let the things bust, and thank us. When the smoke clear and you can see the sky again, there will be the chopped off heads of Leviathan. My friend, I call them strangers. Anybody talk to them end up in some danger. Can't reform them. They pray 4 times a day, they pray 5. Who ways is strange when it's time to survive? Some will go of their own free will to die. Others take them with you when they blow sky high. What's the difference? All you get is lost children while the bosses sit up behind the desk. It costs billions to blast humans in half into calves and arms. Only one side is allowed to have bombs. It's like making a soldier drop his weapon, shooting them and telling them to get to stepping. Obviously, they came to portion up his fortune. Sounds to me like that old robbery extortion. Same game. You can't reform them.
Share your top words of wisdom, proverbs, philosophies that help guide you through life. I guess you being me, you know, right?
All right. That's a good question. Well, a wise man once said, "Do you?" And that's what he told me. The nigga said, you know what I'm saying? Nigga like, you know what I mean? Yo, do you? I'm like, do you? What the, you know? I mean, I knew what he meant. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't grasp what he said till maybe a year later. You know, like that was like the wisest statement I heard out of any book or anything I ever read or anything that could, you know, it's a lot of wise statements, but it's just off the top. Do you? Be yourself, and that's the best thing you could do for anything that surrounds you. Anytime you try to copy something or maybe you're not being genuine to yourself. So when he said do you, as simple as it is, off the top, that's the wisest statement on a philosophical proverb that I could think of. Off the top. Give me a couple of minutes, I could probably come with two more. But what are your coping strategies for when things are not going quite so well? And do you have any relaxing techniques that help you find balance? Balance and techniques was the kind of relaxation with techniques is the tricky part. But I get it. I get the question. Well, quiet time is usually the best remedy. I try to, when I feel like things might not be going as planned, or there's always a bigger plan. Sometimes we don't know what the next play is. We don't know what the next card is, and it's unfolding before us. And sometimes we walk into that, and that was the best plan. Actually, all the time that's how it goes. So when I perceive that things might not be going so well, I remember that. I remember that there's a grand plan for one that I don't know about. And there's parts of this that I'm just walking through and I'm doing my part, and there's other beings doing their part, and there's ancestors that are there they're doing their part. So I'm in a physical body. I can only notice what my eyes and my ears and my five senses could detect. So I try to just be silent and be quiet and sit down somewhere. I tell my daughters the same thing. It's nap time. When they start getting rowdy and they get like, they crying and it's nap time. Take a nap. Only 10 minutes. They don't know about how to count 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes, okay. But that little break is necessary. Being that we're the human, there's a lot of stress out here and things are distracting. They can tend to take us off our square. So just breathing and just taking a break from everything and sitting down, quiet time. Which reminds me, as I think about my daughters, what it is, it's the word I was thinking about. It was, they call it, now I forget again. Special needs. That's what it is. They call it, now I gotta make a point right here. They call certain children special needs children. It always behoove me why they call them special needs. I'm like, okay, all children are special needs children. Like, okay, so some children, they can be a little more like lackadaisical or what you do for them, but if this nigga is, in case of my daughter, right? Yeah, she's special needs, but she still gotta do her chores. She still gotta, and she still gotta make her bed in the morning time. You know what I'm saying? A special need, maybe, she do everything herself. So when beings come to this terrestrial plane, we all come here as a brand new being. We're all babies born. We don't really know where we are, and we have, some kind of guidance, whether it's your parents or whoever you were born into the guidance of, and you learn and you grow and then you figure it out. So you always would need help. So all children are special needs children. That's why I wanted to make that point.
Mic check. mics like ponytails tight and bobble ops. Stop, stick around, come through and dig the sound of the fly brown 6060 cycle. Who throws a dick around? Bound to go 3 plat. Came to destroy rap. It's an intricate plot of a b-boy strap. Fem stack cats get kidnapped. Then release a statement to the press. Let the rest know who did that. Metal fist terrorists claim responsibility. Broken household name usually set in hostility. What is MF, you silly? I like to take men's to the end for 2 milli. Do-do-do-do-do, that's the audio daily double. Rappers need to fall off just to save me the trouble. Yo, watch your own back, came in and go out alone, black. Stay in the zone, turn H2O to cognac. On doomsday, ever since the womb till I'm back where my brother went, that's what my tumor say. Right above my government Dumoulin, either unmarked or engraved, hey, who's to say? I wrote this one in BCDCO section. If you don't believe me, go get bagged and checked in. Cell number 17, I'm under the top bunk. I say this not to be mean, was bad luck a pop junk. Pop the trunk on C-Cypher punk, leave him left scrape, God forbid. If ain't no escape, blame a left tape. Definition super villain, a killer who loved children, one who is well skilled in destruction as well as building. While Sidney Seller teaches the trife to be trifer, I'm trading science fiction with my man, a live lifer. A Pied Piper, holler a rhyme, a dollar and a dime, do his thing, ring around the white collar crime. Get out my face, asking about my case, need toothpaste. Professor Mint, monkey style nigga to death to death. And dope fiends still in their teens. Shook niggas turn witness. Real men's mind their own business. That's the difference between sissy pissy rappers is double dutch. How come I hold a microphone double clutch? COs make rounds, never have ox found on shakedown, lockdown, wet dreams of Fox Brown. On doomsday, ever since the womb till I'm back where my brother went. That's what my tumor say. Right above my government Dumoulin, either unmarked or engraved, hey, who's to say? Doomsday, ever since the womb till I'm back to the essence, read it off the tomb. Either engraved or unmarked grave, who's to say? Pass the mic like Pastor P's like they used to say. Some MFers don't like how Sally walk. I tell y'all fools is hella cool, how ladies from Cali talk. Never let it interfere with the Yeti ghetto slang. Nicknames off nipple and temper nipples metal fang. Known amongst hoes for the bang bang. Known amongst foes for flow without no talking orangutans. Only gin and tang, guzzle out a rusty tin can. Me and this mic is like yin and yang. Clang, crime don't pay. Listen, youth, it's like me holding up the line at the kissing booth. I took her back to the truck, she was uncool. Spitting all out the sunroof, through her missing tooth. But then she has a sexy voice, sound like Jazzy Joyce. So I turned it up faster than a speeding knife. Strong enough to please a wife. Able to drop today's math in the 48 keys of life. Cut the crap for us rap. Touch the mic and get the same thing an A-Rab would do to you for stealing. What the devil? He's on another level. It's a word, no a name. MF, the super villain. Doomsday.
Could feel you, MC.
To me, everything happened organically, and it's still going organically, and so it's hard to explain it as it's happening. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. You know what I mean? I guess in the future, when people look back, they'll be able, to pass another view on it, or make another judgment on it. But for me, I'm like, yo, we doing it. This is how we do it. I feel like I knew him forever. You know what I'm saying? He stays on point. Like, I won't speak to him for, say, a couple of weeks or a month might pass, and we meet back up, and he be right there where we left, like, all right, yo, I got this. And he got 3 more joints, you know what I mean? So his work ethic, his pace, is good. His focus, excellent. He sees what he wants and he aims and he hits that. So I'm really following him. You know what I'm saying?
Lyric-wise, I had to step up a bunch to, keep up with Doom.
Shit. Nigga, I'm trying to keep up with you, kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to reintroduce, my name and my partner's name. My name is Zev Love X. Zev for short.
And I'm on it. All right.
So we're from the rap group KMD. Now, I'm 19 years old, right? And before 3 months ago, when I first met Steve Barr, I really knew nothing about politics. I didn't deal with it. I wasn't into it, right? But on the other hand, I was into cars, or I knew what kind of car I would like to get, or, you know what I'm saying? So, when he introduced me to this, the motor voter bill, as soon as he introduced me to it, I saw the change it could make in me, because it made the change in me as soon as, the first day he introduced me to the bill. And we did that public service announcement the first day, just right there, after he, explained the whole thing to me. So it was easy for me to understand, opposed to a lot of other things in politics. I don't even, I don't even deal with it. So this is so easy for me to understand that I did the public service announcement and then went on to this tour that we did, we just got, this the last day of the tour. I was on it for 3 weeks. Right now, if it was that easy for me to understand, and that's why we went on the tour, because I knew throughout colleges, they're our age group, and they understand what we're saying, being that they look up to us, or, we're figures that they would like to listen to, or we have a voice in the community as far as young people. I knew that if it appealed to me, the first time I heard it, it would appeal to them. And we have proof that it did. 4,000 cards got filled out. 4,000 of those cards got filled out from the tour. And I think it could really make a change as far as I'm concerned, as far as young people.
You have anything you want to say to these young, impressionable minds in conclusion?
Yeah, you know what I would say? Follow your heart. There's number one rule. Follow your heart. Like, a lot of people might not see your vision yet. You know what I mean? People might call you crazy and think it won't make sense. Follow your heart and just follow it all the way through. And that's when you'll see you making new ground and people will appreciate it later on. You know what I mean? Never try to do something to impress the next man, you know what I mean, or the next woman. Like, it's really about what you see and, what you have inside. Everybody's unique individual here. You know what I mean? So you have something to contribute. So whatever it is, follow that and bring it out and share at the table with all of us, you know what I mean? And I also have to say, like, just thanks for all y'all support. You know what I mean? It's people like y'all that have me continue to do it and see I see it as valuable when when you guys show appreciation. I'm like, wow, somebody out there actually listening and know what my crazy ass is thinking about, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. I have to say thank you guys.
Well, let's say thanks to MF Doom, everybody.
Cotto Rock, do it for K-Nick.
R.I.P.
K-N-I-T, sub-R-O-C.
Eternally for M.I.C.
Only we save we.
Yeah. Send direct to the public. All y'all motherfuckers get school slam on sight. By candlelight, my hand to write these rhymes till I'm burnt out. Mostly from experience, shit that I learned about. Topics and views generally concerned about. With different ways to come up and earn clout. I take a look at my life and pace the trails from top bleak and savage females with fake nails to face veils. You out your frame but still bagging them too. I know these hoes be asking me from you. Like my twin brother, we did everything together from 100 cots and lots to copping butter leathers. Remember when you went and got the dark blue Bally's? I had all the different color Kazals and Kazalis. The sub-rock 3-finger ring with the ruby and the O-Ock. Truly the endless dynamic duo on the whole block. I keep a flick of you with the machete sword in your hand. Everything is going according to plan, man.
And now I seek revenge on the one who forced me to hide behind this mask. Don't move, you fools. Within my gauntlet is concealed a most effective weapon. Why are you smiling? You see? Now! At the end of Doom,